Hey, what is going on, guys? Future Sec here, and today I want to talk about micro LED and what that could mean for the consumer. So first of all, there's been a rumor floating around that Apple is investing heavily in micro LED technology, and that could be really great for really everybody because micro LED is easily better in every way than OLED, which is the big guy in smartphones today. That's the screen that all the expensive, nice flagship phones are using because it's simply better than a standard LCD panel. It has a wider color gamut, it's thinner, it's more efficient, you get rich blacks. I mean, it's literally better in almost every way. The only issue with OLED is that there's burn-in, but other than that, it's way better than an LCD panel. It's also bendable, so you can have curved edges. It's just way more practical. But now we've got micro LED, which is sort of like OLED in that it can be bent and it's flexible. It's just better in every single way, and I'm gonna tell you why. So first of all, it's thinner and it doesn't require as many layers. OLED is a bunch of layers of different things, and I'm not an engineer, I can't just tell you all of them, but micro LED is thinner. In fact, most of the components that make up micro LED are thinner than the width of a human hair, which really says something about how thin it is. So this basically allows for a thinner device. I don't see this being a huge deal in phones, but like TVs, for instance, would be great, and laptops could be thinner so that they can be lighter, especially on the computer side. Thinner laptops are always welcome in my book because it makes them more portable, which is the purpose of a laptop. And TVs getting thinner is awesome. That would allow companies to have real wallpaper TVs that are awesome, maybe don't require as huge of a big strip that goes down your wall. There's just a lot of good things that can just come out of a thinner display. Also, sort of like how OLED has a light behind each pixel and each pixel can turn on and off, micro LEDs like taking all those steps and putting them into one. So basically when you have an LED display, you just have a bunch of red and different basically dots that turn on and off that are 3 different colors: red, blue, and green. And based on which ones turn on, you see different colors, whatever. But imagine taking an entire LCD display of all these different color dots, cramming the whole thing into the size of like 1 pixel and allowing that to turn on and off, which sounds crazy, fitting a whole LCD display basically in the size of a pixel, but it's possible. Manufacturing it is insane, it's way hard to do, and it's really expensive, so don't expect to see any micro LED phones or TVs within the next few years unless you're expecting to pay insane amounts of money, and they won't be mass produced. But another great thing about this insane micro LED technology is it's got an incredibly wide color gamut, way more than that of an OLED, because each pixel has its own color gamut, and you still get your insanely rich blacks, even richer whites with 0 burn-in. And because you have these very dense pixels, you obviously have the potential to have insane pixel densities. I know right now 5/600 is the flagship standard, but you could have way higher than that switching to micro LED when it gets cheaper and easier to manufacture. But anyway, like I said earlier, it's rumored that Apple is investing heavily in micro LED technology, and this is great for everybody. But like I said, I just want to be straightforward with you guys. Don't get too excited about this because micro LED is insanely hard to manufacture, and I'm guessing it's going to take about 3 years before we see it in phones. I mean, you could have in maybe a year or two, you could have a phone with micro LED, but it'd be like the Vivo X20 Plus, where it has a way outdated processor, way outdated GPU, not enough RAM, horrible speakers, no waterproofing, it just has a nice display. You may see a Chinese phone like that, but I'm talking about a real flagship, seeing a Samsung Galaxy S12 or something, or the 2020 iPhone, or the Google Pixel 5, you know what I'm saying? So don't expect to see this for a few years. I promise you that next year at CES there'll be micro LED phones, but that doesn't matter because first of all, they're not being mass produced because they can't be, because it's a concept phone. And secondly, usually concept phones cost companies multiple thousands of dollars just to make the one. And if they actually did mass produce and sell them, first of all, there'd be a huge bottleneck. Second of all, the phone would end up costing $5,000-$6,000, which I don't think anyone's gonna pay for a smartphone that they'd have to wait a month for, 3 months, 5 months for. It'd be like ordering a Tesla Model 3, but for a phone and having to pay for the whole thing up front. I mean, but if Apple is investing heavily into this, you're talking about Apple, the most rich company in the world, the most valuable company in the world, the biggest piggy bank of all other companies putting money into MicroLED. That means that with that mass amount of money they're going to be putting into this, we're going to see it explode. We're going to see manufacturing costs go down through their R&D department. And what I'm looking very hopeful, what I'm looking forward to is maybe seeing a MicroLED Apple Watch next year. I don't think we're going to see it this year. That's way too soon. But I think if Apple's really pouring money into this, like these rumors are saying, next year we could see a MicroLED Apple Watch, because this is the biggest one they make. This is the 42 millimeter. And I mean, this is an extremely small display. I mean, 42 millimeters. I mean, it's nothing compared to an iPhone or a laptop, a TV, a tablet. I mean, it's a whole different ballgame. So Apple could manufacture these, and plus Apple Watch, it's getting kind of stale because there hasn't been a design change since it was released. I mean, I have the original Apple Watch. I bought this, pre-ordered this when they first announced the Apple Watch, and I still have it. I still have this Apple Watch because they haven't really done, they made them faster. Every year they get faster, which is awesome. This is getting really slow, but I can't bring myself to pay, another $600, $700 for another one because they're just getting faster. There's no design change. There's nothing to entice me to buy a new one other than the fact that mine's getting really slow and the battery's starting to die quicker. I mean, in my opinion, if you want an Apple Watch, you got to get the stainless steel just because the sapphire glass, I've had this display. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but I've had this display since the first day it came out. I got this on launch day. And I mean, I bang this on tables all the time, and there is not a single scratch on the display. It's flawless because it's got a 10 out of 10 on the most hardness scale. Nothing's going to scratch it except for like a diamond you're putting up to this. But anyway, if Apple's really working on MicroLED, I think that next year we have a decent chance of seeing a MicroLED Apple Watch because the design hasn't really changed. The biggest design change we've seen in the entire life cycle of the Apple Watch was last year when they added a little red dot. And I mean, there's companies you can buy a red dot for $5 and stick it on there. Cellular is an awesome feature. That's cool, but it's not worth an upgrade for me because I carry my phone with me everywhere I go. But as I was saying, MicroLED is the future. It's better than OLED in every conceivable way, except for the fact that it's so hard to manufacture. And when you've got the most valuable company in the world, the company with the biggest bank account, pouring money into this, you're gonna see it explode. It's gonna grow rapidly. And Apple needs to do this. They need to be the one to get to it first because they're hemorrhaging tons of profit, just pouring out. They're losing so much profit to Samsung because of the iPhone 10. iPhone 10 lost them so much profit because they didn't invest in OLED displays when they were young, and that was a big mistake on their part, and then they had to pay Samsung tons of money to put their displays in the screens, and now next year it's rumored they're going to have multiple companies supply because the demand, they're making a huge dent in the OLED market. They're going to have LG making the Plus models, another company like Samsung making the regular displays like the same size we have today. It's just a mess. If Apple could make their own, it'd be so much easier and the phone would be cheaper. I mean, so this is good for everybody. The iPhone's gonna be cheaper. It's gonna have a better display. That's a win-win. And if you don't like iPhones, the fact that Apple is putting so much money into this means that they could be the next Samsung when it comes to like OLED. So Samsung could pay Apple for micro-LED displays, or LG could pay Apple for micro-LED displays, and so on and so forth. So then you could see flagships carrying micro-LEDs faster and sooner because Apple's dumping tons of money into it. But anyway, that's all I had to say about micro-LED. I think that it is the future. It's better in every conceivable way than OLED. We just got to figure out how to manufacture it more efficiently. And the fact that Apple, the richest company in the world, is investing in it makes it really hopeful for me that we're going to see this technology a lot faster. You heard it here first. Micro-LED Apple Watch next year. 2 to 3 years from now, micro-LED in phones. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Leave me a like if you think that micro-LED is the future, if you're really excited for it, because I know I am. Leave me a dislike if you're not a fan of micro-LED, or the fact that Apple's the one investing in it kind of ticks you off or makes you upset. Just let me know in the comments what you guys think down below. I love to hear from you guys. Later, guys.